Hi, good afternoon, folks. It's a glorious day here, or is it in the UK? I think it's been raining today, but hang on for a second. We got to be thankful, and I think it's really good to kind of well, at least we can get out again after all what's been going on and everything. And I've got a wonderful person here today with us, and Jenna Jennings. Now, I have been trying to get you for quite a while, so I am quite chuffed. We've been having problems, haven't we, Jenna?
Yes. Some
We are,
technical
we are,
problems.
yes, we are, but we're finally getting there. We
We've
don't never,
overcome them, and now we're
yes,
here.
we overcome. Praise God.
Yeah.
Um, no, I never thought mm, I ever talked with a redhead. Okay? Now, I remember when I was at school, I used to go out with a redhead when I was younger, but I never kind of thought, because really that's what you're all about, really, because you are a redhead, of course, but also you're doing quite well in your music, aren't you?
I hope so. I'm enjoying every step of the journey. Yeah.
Yeah, that's because I was kind of like going through all your biography, nominations and everything. 11 nominations here and 21 there, and I'm thinking, gosh, um, you, what? How old are you? Is it 22?
I'm 21.
21. Sorry.
That's okay.
You're 21, and you've done all that so far. Well, I tell you what, congratulations,
Thank you.
and I think and you're a Christian too.
Mhm. Yes.
Amen, amen. You're in a safe place. So really, I kind of thought, well, what am I going to talk about? So what I really want to talk about is why music, Jenna? Why music?
Well, I grew up singing in church, and when I was a little kid, I would get up and sing Jesus Loves Me and He's Got the Whole World in His Hands, like little songs like that with my cousins. And I always really loved that. And I guess I was always the person that made up like little background music songs and stuff when I was playing because when Barbie would go on a ride in her dream car, I would be the one singing singing what was on the radio. And so that was kind of always my vision for what I wanted out of my life was to sing and to make music. And then after I got saved when I was 6, I really started my journey of like singing more and more, and it just became a passion for me. I started writing like real songs that I would remember, and it wasn't just I would sing this on what I was doing because I would walk through the house being like, I'm walking through the house and I'm singing and whatever I was doing. And that was all when I was a kid. But then I started writing actual like songs that I would write down and remember. And that became a huge passion for me. I was like, this is what I want to do with my life. And so I guess I've really been dreaming of being a musician since I was 5 or 6.
5 or 6. Gosh, is your family? Are they all into music?
Well, in a way, yes. And half of my family, they're really into bluegrass music, and that's kind of how I got my start in music because my cousin owned a bluegrass music store. So she would sell guitars and mandolins, and on certain Saturday nights of the month, she would have bluegrass bands come and play a few sets. And at intermission, she let me get up and sing. And I would get up and sing whatever I could think of at the time. So I'd sing jingles and because I really didn't know what to sing because I was really little. So I would get up and sing like jingles or folk songs or just anything I could think of during intermission. And they all really pushed me to learn an instrument. But in my immediate family, my dad plays guitar. He taught me how to play a few chords. but they don't really like pursue music like I do. I guess like in my immediate family, but my cousins and like my extended family are very musical and really helped me get my start in music, really pushed me to learn more and to practice and to keep working on my craft.
That's it, and that's what you got to do in that.
Yes.
Yeah. Is your family Christian family? Is it a Christian family?
Yes. It's my dad's a deacon, my grandpa's a preacher, my brother-in-law is a preacher, my great grandparents, my great grandpa was a preacher on my mom's side. My great grandpa was a preacher. I just like, oh my gosh. I come from a long line of like Baptist preachers, so I have all that passion that I
So
take out into music.
are you going to be a preacher?
No, I'm not. But my fiance is a preacher. So it was kind of funny though, because when we were dating, my mom's mom, Nanny, she would always say, well, Jana, it's kind of a thing. All of us, we've all married preachers or preachers' sons in our family. And I was like, oh yeah, whatever. And then after we got engaged, Bradley told his preacher calling, and I was like, okay, she was right. We all marry preachers or preachers' sons. So I kind of got pushed into that role of like what I always saw in like my grandmother, who I watched her be a preacher's wife, or like like got to see um kind of what goes into it with my sister being a preacher's wife. So I was like, that's a big undertaking. So as soon as he
You're not
told
going to
us
get married any sooner then.
we get married in 3 months and 3 weeks. And so, as
Oh
he's
well, that's some music out the window.
no, definitely not. He's
Yeah,
really
yeah. You know what you'd be doing then, wouldn't you? You'd be like kind of like you'd be in the kitchen doing the dishes.
I will not. I can do both, I think. Well, actually, it was really important to me to find somebody who was really supportive of music, because I was really career focused. And I was like, I'm not even dating anybody. Like, I'm not going out with anybody. I am like so career focused. And it took a lot of persuading. It took a lot of persuading to get me to actually consider um dating, because I always had it in my head like I wanted to pursue music, and I didn't want anybody to get in the way of that. And when I met Bradley, he kind of stepped up and was like, this is really cool, I want to be a part of this. And he helps me set up at my shows. He's the first one I play my songs to. He's there in the studio with me while I
Oh,
record.
it's romantic.
It
It's young love.
is. It's so romantic. So I was, as soon as he asked me to marry him, I was like, duh, because I was like, I found a teammate, a partner. So I was
Okay,
really
so how did what what how did he kind of like propose to you?
we went, well, it's kind of a long story, but when we first met, Bradley was really shy, and I wanted him to talk to me, but he was always so shy. And so I I went to him, and my favorite drinks are these like, they're carbonated, just carbonated water with like fruit flavoring called called LaCroix. And I kept like 5 or 6 of them at a time in my purse, because I would just get thirsty and pull them out of my purse and drink them. And I went to him after church and was like, hey, have you ever had LaCroix? And I took it out of my purse. I gave it to him, and he tried it, and he was like, it's just okay. I was like, wow, okay. So then later on, it became his favorite drink. So I had kind of a bad day. He was like, well, let's just go for a drive. And we went to church, and in the same place where I gave him a LaCroix when we met, he got down, he handed me a LaCroix and was like, why don't you taste this LaCroix? And then he got down on one knee and pulled out a ring and asked me to marry him. It was really funny and romantic. I thought it was very quirky and very much like us.
And what did your parents say?
Well, he asked my dad if he could marry me, And he tried to be all secret about it, but I knew he was asking my dad if he could marry me. Because it was not a surprise to me that he was going to ask my dad. And so I was like, he's asking my dad if he can marry me, and my dad said yes. They were happy for us. They were like, wow. I mean, my mom was really excited for me about my ring, because she was like, oh, it's so pretty. And then my dad was like, oh, I knew it, because they had already talked about it. There was no surprise
Oh,
there.
there you go. I'll tell you what, we're going to get back to Jenna in 2 minutes after one of her songs here. It's Come Oh Come, Emmanuel.
Oh, come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel, that more than lowly exile here, until the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Oh, come thou wisdom from on high, who ordered all things far and nigh. To us the path of knowledge show, and cause us in our ways to go. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Shall come to thee, O Israel. Shall come to thee, O Israel.
Here you go. Now, that is a lovely song. I love that song. And how beautifully, you sung that really, really, really nice.
Thank
Um,
you.
when you kind of when you go around different places singing and everything, and because sometimes you play Christian music and everything, and do people get offended in any way when you're playing Christian music?
Not. I've been really lucky that I haven't really run into that as often as I guess some people have. The majority of the places that I play, I get to do both. So I get to do my secular music and my Christian music. So I've always kind of blurred the lines between the two because um for me I've always felt like when you're living for God and you're living in his will and you're trying to serve him and you're just living your day-to-day life with that mentality, the things that you go through and the things that he puts in your life, and you write if you write a song about that, and you can use it to help somebody else. So my songs that I write that may be about, about relationship stuff, or about like I've written songs about different parts of my life, like about hope, or about breakups, or about different things that I've experienced. I feel like I've been able to use those to help other people, but putting those with my Christian songs, I feel like kind of create a mosaic of what I'm all about, because um, and that's kind of been what I wanted out of my career anyway, was to just be like, this is me. And if this can help you in any way, I hope it helps. Like, I hope that I can inspire you. I hope that you can relate to my lyrics. I hope that I can give you the relatability. And I hope that I can, like I've always wanted to say, I've always wanted my music to be like, if you have a feeling, I want to be able to put it into words for
Mm.
you, so that
Mm.
if you're going through something, you're able to listen to it and say, okay, that's exactly what I needed. So I've never really run into the problem where anybody was offended by my Christian stuff, because they already kind of know I'm Christian by my secular music, or because um, I've always kind of had the mentality of like, this is me, and the right people will like my stuff. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
your vibe.
I was listening to a song about, oh gosh, it got to be about 6 months ago now. Um, and I was on your page and I was listening to it and I thought, gosh, this is really, 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 really good. The
Oh,
next
thanks.
minute, 'cause I was going through a really bad time, a really tough time, and didn't tell anybody. My wife didn't even know. My family didn't know, and I was going. And what it is, I'm a sort of a person to keep it inside me. I don't, you know, kind of like tell anybody. And I was going right for a good time. And when you just sing your ear some music, it gets to me. I'm like a softie. I can watch a kind of like something on the television, like a love story or something like that, and I have tears coming down my face.
Oh,
Or something like that.
yeah.
So, and it was a song. I'm going to play it in a minute. It was a song of yours that really, well, a song that you sang, and it really got to me. And I thought to myself, yeah, yeah. Then after that, I was right. But the trouble is, when you play your music, do you get people come up to you and go, "I was touched," and what? Do many people say that to you?
Yes. And I'm glad that they do. Like, I want people to tell me that. That's my goal. I want people to number one, feel comfortable enough, to come up and tell me if there's a song that touched them, or and I've had people come up and talk to me about a trouble that they had in their life, or ask me to pray for them, like say, um just remember me when you pray, and then tell me um what they were going through, or something that they were struggling with. And that's something I want. um but another thing that I wanted was, like, if you don't come talk to me, I still want you to leave feeling heard. I still want you to leave feeling loved. And so that's what I wanted with my music, and what I wanted. My mission statement has always been to spread a message of hope. And so, to everybody who hears me, I want them to leave. Like, if you leave my concerts, or you leave, or you leave my website, or you've listened to my music on Spotify or whatever, the feeling I want you to get when you hear my music is Jesus loves me, Jana loves me, I'm heard, I'm loved, and everything's going to be okay. Like, that's something that is important to me, because even if it's a song that's like, I'm going through a hard time, or I'm sad or something, all of those are components. We have a puzzle of our life. and all of these different times of our life fit together. God works in our lives in different ways. Sometimes we go through struggles and storms, and sometimes we have mountaintop times. And there needs to be songs that speak to all of those times. We're not always going to feel praise and worship, and we're not always going to feel lamentations, and we're not always going to feel romantic, and we're not always going to feel lonely. And so I wanted to make songs that wherever you were in your life, you were able to relate to them. Because when you look around at your peers, you kind of realize all of us are really going through the same thing. And we might just articulate it differently, but we've all experienced similar emotions. And so when people come to me and tell me that a song that I've written has touched them, or a song that I've written has helped them through something, I feel like, number one, I feel like, yay, goal achieved. But more than that, I feel like that's what God can do with music, because it's nothing that I have done. Because I feel like God has given me a gift where I can be a mouthpiece to communicate with people, but it's mostly Him, because I could never reach people on my own. But God has given me the ability to spread His message to people who need it. And I'm just thankful for the people and musicians who, I've never met them, I've never spoken to them, but there are so many musicians who have written music and who have written songs and lyrics where when I heard them, I was like, I feel heard. I feel like somebody has experienced this and has gotten through it, and I felt inspired. And has always been the goal for me and in my life. So when people tell me that I've helped them in any way, it is the biggest blessing. And that is something that has always been on my heart and my mission in life to do. And so I want people to tell me that is always an amazing experience for me. But more than that, even if they never tell me so, I just want, even if it's just one person, that's always been something I've said about my career. Like, if I never reach any further than just one person, if I help one person, that's enough. It was worth
Brilliant.
it.
Yeah, well done. Well done. Okay, we're going to listen to another song. Then we're going to come back. Then we're going to do what I usually do with everybody who I interview. I try to have a bit of fun, give you 1 minute, one line of questions, and you just got to answer it, but you'll be okay. Okay, folks, here we go again.
As I went out on the day, around the hills and made my way, good fortune failed, and to my surprise, my brother left me here to die. Put away his blade and said, that's tough. The elements should take you soon enough. So it goes, I lie here still. If I could fight, I'd probably kill him. My heart is broken, I'm filled with dread. Dizzy by the buzzard circling overhead. My brother, my keeper. My brother, my friend. One little white. As we wander in solitude, we can't but ponder who's looking out for who. The future's tinted in steely grays, it bursts with color as we see it all play out. My brother, my keeper. My brother, my friend. My brother, my keeper. My brother,
Beautiful. There you go. That was a beautiful song.
That's one of my favorites. As soon as I heard it, I was like, I gotta cover this one. Mandolin Orange is a great band.
Yeah, brilliant. Really good. Really good. I loved it. And what's your embarrassing moment that's ever happened to you while you're going around doing gigs and everything?
Oh, okay. My favorite. Okay, so there's two that come to mind immediately. So first, um, when I did Tennessee Songwriters Week, I got to go to the finals round and perform at the Bijou Theater in Knoxville, which was like a huge thing for me because Dolly Parton played there. I was like, wow. And like they were telling me about how historic the place was, who all played there. Standing on that stage was just incredible. And just thinking about all the amazing people who had been in that theater and everything blew my mind. And the second one, I was on stage and performing, and a radio disc jockey who had been playing my music said, "You need to play to Narcissus." And I was like, okay. And I hadn't even, you know, I was like, okay, I'll play it. And he was like, well, you need to play it because it's number one on the radio. And I was like, it was the first time I had found out that it was number one on the radio. It was so exciting. I found out my song was number one while I was
Yeah,
performing
what
on
was that like?
stage.
What was that like when you heard that? You know, when your song was number one.
It was surreal. As soon as I got off stage, I was like screaming, jumping up and down. It was the best day ever. But it was also kind of like a quiet victory. It was kind of like a, okay, I put this song out. I really didn't know what was going to happen with it. I really didn't know if people were going to like it or, because it was a song that I put out when I had just put out my first album. I had only like 100 followers when I put out my first album. I was like, I went and recorded some songs I wrote when I was like 15 years old. I was like, I'm going to put this out and see what happens.
Over 55,000 now, ain't you, following?
I put out, I was like, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put out songs that I wrote. I'm like, I wrote these songs at like 15. I'm going to put them out. I did, and I started building an audience, and I was like, okay, now that I've got a little bit more of an audience, I think I'll start releasing some of my newer songs and see what happens. And I put out To Narcissus, which was a song I wrote in 2019. And I was like, I don't know how this is going to be received because this is a newer song, a totally newer sound than I've ever done. I don't know how it's going to be received because I've only ever put out like an album of songs I wrote as like, way back. And I put it out and it went to number one. And I was like, I had no idea what was going to happen with it. And it was a quiet victory because I felt like, okay, now I know I'm doing it right and I can make it happen. And I'm just going to keep hustling, keep working, and just trust God because I had no idea what was going to happen with it. And it went to number one. And I was like, I think it was one of those moments where it kind of felt like I had a little bit more hope and more reassurance in myself because I was thinking, okay, well, it didn't flop. it it didn't flop. It actually did better than I was thinking. So now I know in the future
Yeah.
I can keep going.
Did you get any money from that then, from being number one?
Yeah. It's like for a musician, it's kind of like, your main source of income is performing live. So I would say yes, but more so from being able to perform it live.
Right. Was it a lot of money?
From performing live, I guess.
No, 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 no. For being number one.
I don't know. In my opinion, I mean, I'm not a millionaire.
You
I'm
don't
not a
just,
millionaire.
you seem not to give much away.
I don't know. I'm not gonna give much away about money.
Right. Okay. So, let's pass then. Let's pass. Um, so so this was because you were number one. What was it? Was it the Christian charts or the country charts?
Country
Country.
charts for to Narcissus, and then Christian charts for When I Hear God's Call, and went to number one.
That's it. And that went number one too, didn't it?
Yes, and that was an amazing day too. And my co-writer, I had never really done a co-write before. When I did When I Hear God's Call, and my co-writer sent over flowers, and I came home to this like awesome bouquet of flowers the day that it was released. And then the day it was number one, I was like, we gotta call him and tell him it's number one. He's
You have
gonna
a
be
little
so
part.
excited.
Did you have a party or something? Or I think it was.
We didn't have a party for it, but when it got nominated for a Josie Award, I called and I was like, this song just keeps doing stuff. We have to have a party for it at some point because
Yeah.
because it went to number one, and now it's nominated for a Song of the Year. It's nominated for a Christian Contemporary Inspirational Song of the Year at the Josie Music Awards.
How much kind of like how much kind of like time do you have to actually sit down and write your own music, or do you get a producer to write it? Do you do your own music, or the producer does it?
I write my own music. When I write a song, I can hear exactly how I want it produced. Basically, while I'm writing it, I'm producing it. And I have a fabulous producer slash engineer who lets me basically produce my own stuff, and he basically reads my mind. So I tell him, okay, here's what I want. I want it to sound like this, and then we're gonna have a build, and then it's gonna sound like da 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 da, and then like a ba da da da, and he's like, okay, we'll make it happen. So I'm able to just tell him what I want, and he helps me be able to play it. Or so I play on my own stuff too. I play guitar and piano, and anything that I don't play, I call in somebody to come play with me. So I always want to make sure that I'm playing on my own tracks. I don't want to ever release something where I'm not playing on it.
Mm.
That's important to me because as a musician, I want to keep that integrity of having performed on my own tracks.
Mm.
So when I write an album, I feel like what happens with me sometimes is that I will just be writing songs and writing and writing and writing and having ideas, brainstorming. And then when I finish an album and I feel like I've written a complete work and it's done, I can't write again until I've recorded it. And I will be pushing myself to write. I can write with other people. I can do co-writes. I can work on other projects all day long. But until I have finished my project, I can't be like, okay, well, I'm going to go over here and like write another project because I get so involved in my project that like currently I'll give a little secret. I'm working on a new album of and so it's a collection of songs that I wrote in quarantine, and I have been recording it, and I'm really excited to release it. I've already got the album visuals done and everything, so it won't be too much longer before I release it. And I'm also working on an album, which is a collaboration with another artist named Denise Nicole Dittman Cook, which is really exciting. She wants to do kind of an Americana gospel project, so she contacted me because that's my sound and explained to me that that's what she wanted. So we've been writing together. I've been writing songs with her. So I can write songs with other people for other people because, she's like, this is the kind of stuff I want to sing about. Can we write songs about it? I'll write a song and call her and say, what do you think of this? And pitch her the song. And so for me, songwriting happens in a way where I can hear the production, but I work per project. So like my mind, I can focus myself to do like per project, everything flows. Everything works together to tell a story and to work together like a package deal. But and so that's important to me. Like I love albums because they all work together. So that I mean, that's
You
a
got
long
50.
roundabout
You
way of
got
saying
over
it.
55,000 followers. You know, probably after a year, you probably get loads more in the UK. But what I'm
That'd be
trying to
great.
say, you probably would. Well, the way it's going at the moment, I'm not gonna tell you how many people's listening at the moment. But what I'm trying to say to you is this: that you got all these followers, okay? You're getting bigger with your music. You're doing really well with your music, and you're gonna get married. How the heck are you gonna have time with your husband, your new husband? Your new husband is gonna be kept in the corner while you're touring.
It's so funny though because I I basically am I just had like just got back into doing in-person shows again after being quarantined for so long. Um, a couple months ago, was able to start doing live shows again. And June has been so packed. We had like show in the morning, show in the evening, like traveling, make sure we're there on time, do a show, do another show, eat somewhere in between. And what was awesome about it was that he was right there with me, like the whole time, going from show to show with me, cheering me on. And we were so exhausted, but I was
Ah,
like,
so
I love it.
you want him to be what you call a slave, carry all your
A
gear.
slave. No. But it was cool though, because he came and he was hanging out with us, and we were walking around and talking to everybody that came to the show. And what has been really interesting for me though, as I've grown as an artist, is like to see that people, I'm so used to going around and introducing myself like people have no idea who I am. And I go to them and say, "Hi, my name is Jana Jennings, and I'm a singer, and I'm going to be singing, and I really want you to stay and listen to me." And that's kind of like how I used to talk people into staying and listening to my shows. But more recently, as I've grown and people have heard me on the radio and stuff, like it didn't hit me that people actually like knew who I was until like last weekend or the weekend before. I was walking around and saying hello to people who were coming to my show specifically, and I was like, "Hi, I'm Jana," and they were like, "Yeah, we know, we're here for your show." And I was like, "Y'all are like, wow, y'all
Mm.
shut up!" Because I guess coming out of quarantine, I was kind of like expecting to go back to like, I mean, before having been on the radio and stuff, I was like going around talking to people like they had no idea who I was, and people kind of knew who I was, and that blew my mind because
Well,
I don't feel any I didn't realize it. I really was expecting to go and introduce myself like people had no idea, and they were there for my show, and it was awesome. It was a really
how
surreal
many
moment.
people? How many? What's the audience? What's the highest audience that you ever played in?
The biggest audience, I don't know. I remember that I've been in front of an audience of like 4,000 people, but I it's different every time. It
What
just
for your
depends.
show?
For my show? No, this was like a showcase kind of thing. I can't remember what my biggest audience was because it's different every time. But I'm always really excited to see a big crowd. Like if I see a big crowd, I'm like, but the shows are getting bigger every time, and I'm always so excited. I think that my most recent biggest crowd, I guess, was like 300 or 400. But after, I don't know. Like now after COVID, I get kind of scared of crowds.
You wait when they all you'd be packing venues and it, big venues and everything. You
I
wait.
hope so.
You want see the trouble is it's good for me to do this because what I do then is I go around to all the artists and I say, "Do you remember me?" Then I get free tickets. See?
I'll remember you. You can come and get free tickets.
Good,
You
great,
can
thank
get
you.
free tickets. I want to come to the UK so bad. and play some shows.
Well, saying about that, we have said about that. We could do that for you. We'll help you to do that.
That would be
Definitely.
great. I want to come and play
When
some
we say we
shows.
do something, we do something. All right, we'll sort something out for you. In the meantime, last couple of questions, and I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
Um, who inspires you most in your life?
Nanny, my mom's mom. She's my best friend. We've been best friends since the day I was born, and she inspires me so much. Um, she's one of the hardest working people I know, and she's been through so much in her life. And when she like talks to me about everything that she's gone through, like she doesn't ever like complain about anything, and she's just such an inspiration to me. Like if I can be half the woman she is, then I'm doing good.
You're amazing, amazing. You know,
Thanks.
you're really, you're really amazing what you come out with. You're really good. I when I listen to your music, it's like a chill goes on the back of my, it's like my hair standing up. And sometimes, don't laugh. It's funny, really. Well, okay. And what it is, it's just kind of, and the trouble it gives you a chill. And then next minute, it's like the singing, the voice comes out. A lot of people do, go around doing singing, but they don't really mean their words. But you do,
I do
And I
mean
just
it.
can't.
Thank you.
It's unbelievable, you know. Um, what is your favorite song that you ever sung? Now that's got you thinking, isn't it?
Can it be a song I wrote? Would that be weird?
Nope.
Okay, so I guess my favorite song that I've ever sang is my song called Hold On. And the reason I say that is because um, it really was a life changing song for me when I wrote it. I was only like 14 when I wrote it, but it's a song that I still perform at every single one of my shows, every set, even if it's a live stream. I don't ever leave it out because the story of how I wrote it was I was in an Americana duo when I was a kid, and I had a little friend, and we would play. He would play mandolin, and I would play guitar. And he was an actor, and he got a role in a movie, and they asked if we would um, write a song for the movie, and it was about mental health awareness and suicide prevention. So I knew that I wanted to write a song that spoke to that, but I also wanted to write a song that spread a universal message of hope so that no matter who heard it, they could relate to it. So I just went in my room and sat down, and the words just kind of came to me, and I wrote them down, and it was done in, I guess, like 10 minutes. And it was a song that really became my mission statement, to spread a message of hope to everyone who heard me. And later on in my life, it connected me after the duo split up, and I was just doing it as a single artist. I was going out and performing this song, and it connected me with Change, an organization um, out of Blairsville, Georgia. That's not too far from me, and it combats suicide in communities. And so I was able to partner with that organization because of my song. And I don't really ever talk about it, but I'll just but I struggled with depression for like the past 6 years. And people don't really recognize that sometimes it's like the happiest person that you know. Sometimes it's the person who, like always shows up to church happy and smiling. And sometimes it's the person who's out there like trying to spread hope to people. And sometimes it's the person who you think has it together because they're out there working all the time. And, sometimes it's the person that's always trying to make other people feel good
Mhm.
and laugh. And I felt like I was really the poster child for not being depressed because people would say, "Oh, you're always smiling." Like people would say to me like, "You're always smiling. You're always so happy." But that wasn't really what was behind the scenes. And that song really helped me in my life with my depression because I was telling myself, I was singing it and I was telling myself. And then people would come to me and say, I needed that song. That song really helped me. And I was realizing that I was spreading this message to more people than myself. And God came to me one day and told me, I made you for such a time as this. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a reason for living and everybody has a job to do. And we all are made in God's image and He loves us all so much. And sometimes we can't see the joy in life, but God will get us through it. And He got me through it. And I'm doing so much better than I have in years. And it's because of being able to do music and being able to help other people. So I found my purpose and I found the thing that brings me joy. And I just believe everybody can find that. Everybody can find that purpose that brings them joy and gives them a reason to get up every day. And so my favorite song that I've ever sang, my favorite song that I've ever been able to perform is Hold On, because of the changing meaning that it's had in my life, but also because of the way that it's been able to help other people as well.
Good. Well done. We're going to listen to another song of yours. And here we go.
About Ovid's Metamorphosis, the story of Echo and Narcissus. My message with the song that I wanted to convey was that you don't have to be an echo. Don't change yourself to make somebody else like you. You stole my heart, my heart, my heart, and we must come together. My love like a closer flame, a flame, a flame, burning higher. Say you love me and I'm yours. Oh, it's your reflection all you can see. If there was no one else, would it be me? Lift your eyes from the water. The flame is burning higher, and there remains a voice. There remains a voice. There remains a voice. Jupiter's in the city, and you are chasing hearts like bright and dear. Oh dear, my voice like an echo in a dream, a dream, a dream of the blue, and the sounds of the wind. Can you feel it too? Say you love me and you do. Oh, is your reflection all we can see? If there was no one else, could it be me? Oh, please lift your eyes from the water. The flame of love is burning higher, and there remains a voice. There remains a voice. There remains a voice. There remains a voice heard by all. There remains a flower seen by one. There remains a voice heard by all, but there remains a flower seen by one. There remains a voice heard by all, but there remains a flower seen by one. There remains a flower seen by one.
Here you go. And that was Jen. I tell you what, that is a nice song too. Where was the idea for that song?
So that I wrote about Echo and Narcissus. Echo can only repeat what other people what everybody else says. And she's in love with Narcissus, but he's in love with himself, and he stares at his reflection in the water until he starves to death and dies. And
Ah,
so and so what I wanted to convey with that song was I kind of wanted to take that story from Ovid's Metamorphosis and relate it to a modern um, relationship with two people who are stuck in a narcissistic relationship where one person is so self-involved and the other person is just catering to that person who's being self-involved. Because a lot of times we see, even in friendships, even in familial relationships, we see people who change everything about themselves to fit in with the person who will never see them for anything other than less than. People who are so self-involved, who love themselves so much, will look at other people and never see the beauty that God created in them. They will only see, well, you're not me. You need to change you need to change yourself to be more like me. And that person probably doesn't, the person who is so self-absorbed probably doesn't have a lot of their own personality because they're trying to take on the personality that they see online of,
yeah.
what is trendy, what is readily available to absorb into themselves that will
It's like
make
cutting
people
the
like
front
them.
off, isn't it?
It's kind of like they take on what is already likable, and anything that's unique or anyone that doesn't quite align with that is wrong. And so
Mm.
people, I've noticed some just beautiful
Oh, what's that one there? No. Mm. Okay,
sorry, it crashed, but I'm back in.
don't worry about it. Go on, carry on.
Okay, I've seen some just absolutely beautiful souls who are so unique try to just change themselves to fit with trends to make people like them, and then the trends change, and then they have to change themselves again. And it's just, I just wish that more people could see, rather than catering to that, rather than saying, "Oh, I have to change myself so this person will like me." Encourage that person to embrace who they really are. Say, make that person feel loved. Make the person who is, so obsessed with making people feel bad about themselves because they don't know who they are. Encourage them to find out who they really are. And so I wanted to create a song that said, you don't have to be an echo. You don't have to be the culmination of trends, and you don't have to be the product of what your society tells you that you have to be. Just be who God made you to be. And you don't have to cater to everybody else's idea of beauty, because those standards are just impossible. I mean, we see so often everybody's highlight reels. We talk about it all the time. Highlight reels on social media, and we compare ourselves to those, and it's
Mm.
impossible. We can't live up to everybody else's highlight reels because they're not real. We don't see the bad times behind the scenes, and we don't, with all these photo editing apps, we don't see what people really look like. you know, we don't see the truth. And so that was something I wanted to convey with this song was, if you are the person who's making, like what I want to say to people was, if you're the person that's making people feel bad about being who they are, readdress. See if you're lacking something in yourself. Like, ask yourself, am I really being who I want to be? And then if you're not, you can find out who you are, and you can be unique. You can live up to who you're supposed to be. You don't have to be just a bunch of trends. And if you are somebody that's changing yourself to fit in, don't change yourself, because you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And everybody has their own idea of what is wonderful, and so you can't live up to everybody else's beauty standards or everybody else's standards at all, because we're not going to be able to please everybody all the time. We can't be an echo, because we'll just be echoing everybody all the time. Everybody else is already taken, so just be yourself.
You're amazing. You are really, really amazing.
Thanks.
Right. Okay. We've got to go. Right. Okay. We've got to go to our questions now, right? Because we're
Okay.
running out of time. Okay. So, Barbara from Dallas. Hello, Barbara. How are you? She said she's telling me. She said, "When's the next time are you singing again and in concert? And if so, can I get any tickets?"
Um, I actually am not sure. I will need to look at my calendar. I know that I am singing tonight on Queen City on Facebook. So if you want to hear me sing, you can find me on Facebook Live tonight. I have a lot of live streams coming up and some live shows coming up, but I can't remember exactly when. And yes, you can get tickets. I will. So if you want to keep up with where my live shows are, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you can keep up with all my latest shows. I can post links for tickets, or if they're free events, I can let you know how to get in.
There you
It's
go.
Jayna Jennings.
Okay, okay. I spelled your name wrong. Okay. Um, hey, gosh, being told off here. God, I don't know. All right, okay. So, Lucy, hello, Lucy from Birmingham. I know you. Hi, Steve. Would it be possible if you can have Jenna come back again? Because I see that you haven't asked her all the questions you wanted. I haven't, no. Because what it is, she's a very inspiring young lady who's done quite a bit of self so far. But I will get her to come back and ask the rest of it. But she's amazing. She's, music. She's getting married soon, and she's probably have around about 12 children and whatever. That's embarrassing her. no, but it's no. We will ask her to come back, yeah, and we will do a follow interview. Um, Hi, Steve. Would it be possible if you can kind of ask Jenna if she's got any CDs I can buy?
Yes, I do. I have two albums and an EP. So you can find them on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon Prime, anywhere you stream or download music. And and you can get the physical copy of Courtyards and Aviaries Part One. You can message me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and send me your address, and I'll mail it to you.
Right, and she'll sign it too if you ask her.
I will. I will sign it, and I will send you a nice note.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, there you go. What else is it? Okay. Hi, Steve. Can you get her over in the UK? We will certainly try. Yep. It's
I would
not
love
written
to.
out, but with the, we will see what we can do. Hi, Steve. Would it be possible if you could have Jenna back? Yes, yes, yes. We will try to get her back. She's a busy woman, She's a busy lady now. Um, would it be possible if you can say hello to Frances over in LA? Um, it's her birthday today. She's 18 and she said she follows you.
Hi, Francis. Happy birthday.
Here you go. Gosh. Um,
18. That's a fun age.
I
Happy
remember when I
birthday.
turned 18, did you?
Yes.
Yeah,
18 was a good
18.
year.
Yeah. Oh, it was good. It was good. Um, Hi, Steve. What's the most embarrassing moment that you ever had in your entire life? Me. I'm not the guest. No, no, I won't say. Um,
You're not going to get it out of him?
well, I took a crab for a walk once, okay, and that's it. A crab.
A crab for a walk?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I was a little boy, I know you're looking at me weird there, ain't you? Yeah,
I
stop
just can't
laughing.
picture it. I can't picture it.
Right, can you picture it now? Can you imagine it? A little boy, all right? His his family was in the seafood industry, right? Okay, a little boy tied a piece of string around the crab's claw and took the crab for a walk.
That's actually not embarrassing at all. That is so cute.
Well, you don't know what happened.
Oh.
I tried to take it. Crabs walk sideways, don't they? And slow, don't they? And a bus went right over my crab. Yeah, it was called Percy the crab.
Well, at least it didn't hit you too. That would be awful. That poor crab. I'm so sad. Poor crab.
Yes. Okay, let's move on. All right. I told you. See, I told you kind of like to laugh. It's not funny.
It's not funny. It's really
Poor
sad. I'm sorry.
Right. Okay. Philippa wants to know what's the most embarrassing moment you have had on stage?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I had like my set list on an iPad. It wasn't an iPad. It was like a tablet, like one of those really plastic, indestructible tablets, you know? I guess it's not indestructible, but you know, those really like thick plastic tablets. So I could see my set list and keep up with time. And I'm playing and singing, and I forgot the words to a song that I wrote myself. I wrote the song and forgot the words. And I was like, how do I forget the words of my own song? So I was standing there like, what do I do? And then I moved because I got nervous and I knocked over the tablet. And it's on camera. That was my most embarrassing moment. I'm still not over that one.
Right.
But
Okay.
you know what that's called? Paying your dues.
That's payback time.
Paying your dues.
Yes, it was for laughing at me. Right
Yeah.
then. Yeah,
Sorry.
it's okay. Um, you might see Percy and Evan when we get there. Right then. What else we got here? Roger wants to know um, when you got your number one. Um, did you have a party and spend all your money?
I didn't have a party. I I did celebrate some way though. I think I drank some like sparkling grape juice, and that was that. Um, that was the party. Every time something good happens in music, like my fiance and I celebrate like some kind of way, we either like eat something really yummy or like drink something like a Starbucks or like some sparkling grape juice or apple juice or something. And the biggest party that I ever had like was when I put out my latest single, Eliza. I had like balloons and like confetti, and it was a whole thing. I really, really and wish that I had done a huge party for my number one, because I don't know if I'll ever like, you know, a number one is like a really big deal and you don't know if you'll ever get a number one again. So if I could have had, you know, especially because of COVID, I couldn't really have like a lot of people over, but even if it was just me, I wish I
Okay.
had like a big to do.
Luke wants to know did you buy yourself a car when you got your number one money?
No, I didn't buy myself a car, but I love my car. I have a little Subaru.
Um, what's the money like in the music industry? Robin wants to know.
Rough for the first like For the first few years of your career, you work basically for free because you're trying to like get exposure. But then later on, when people like learn who you are and you have more like credibility, I guess, and you have more like you can say, oh, well, I've had this and I've played here and here, and you start playing bigger gigs, then you make a lot more money. But it's also a kind of an investment kind of career. So
Good, good. If you were on stage in a concert and you wanted one person to come on stage with you, who would it be?
oh, Joni Mitchell, I love her. Or Prince, but he's passed away. I
Okay.
mean, if I could dream, or like David Crosby, Taylor Swift.
David Crosby, yeah. I like his little girl. She's cute,
I
isn't she?
I just oh my goodness though, like if I could get Crosby, Stills, and Nash on stage with me at once, they would never do it, but imagine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Crosby family, eh? They're really good, aren't they?
Yes.
Really good. Right, okay, last kind of question, guys, because I've got to get going. Where else we going? All right, okay. Jennifer wants to know, um, how do I get into the music industry?
Um take every opportunity you can to sing if you're comfortable with that opportunity. So the way that I got started, I was singing in churches. So like if you want to sing in church, then that's the best way to get started because you never know who you're gonna meet. You could go and sing some hymns or something. Definitely take advantage of your using your phone. Like take videos of yourself, put them on YouTube. Try to meet as many other musicians as possible because they're going to be your tribe. So make as many musician friends as possible, and you'll just grow from there. It's definitely you start small and you work your way, but it's a great journey and you'll have fun. Good luck.
Lacey, oh, hey, um, hi, Steve. Congratulations on your radio and your podcast. Couldn't believe it that you only started last year and you have a lot of people so far. Thank you. God has really chosen somebody like you to spread the word. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Bless you for that. And really, last one, guys. Honestly, um, Tracy wants to know, um, will you come back if you get asked by Steve? Because there's more about you we want to know.
Yes, definitely.
There you go, guys. There you go. We will get her back for you. Okay, very soon. In the meantime, you're a lovely person. You are really, really lovely person. I'm
You
going to tell
too.
you how many people we had on here. You ready for it?
Yes.
We've had 19,464 people on here.
That's so awesome.
It is for me because it's the highest I ever had.
That's amazing.
Thank you so much. That was really good. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you
for
so
you,
much.
and for that, I'm going to play one of your songs. Okay, guys, after this, I'm going to go. But thank you very much for joining me. Jenna Jennings, brilliant. I'm going to get my wife to contact her now. And all right, okay, we've already sent her a date already. Okay, she's quick. So hopefully she'll answer back. In the meantime, guys, this is Hold On.
Feel like running a marathon in a desert through quicksand. But Zero accounting software can help keep your business finances running smoothly. Soon that marathon will feel more like a fun run with a jetpack. Search Zero with an X because healthy business is beautiful business.
understand, but I'm trying to, and all my life I've tried to be right here for you. But there's a wall and a door that I don't have the key to. But if you can just hear my voice, hold on tight to the end of your rope. It's alright to have shine and hope. The waves are too big for you to mount on your own. Just like the one who knows take control and hold on to the end of your rope. You're not wrong to say that I don't see the world through your eyes, but all my life I've really tried to understand. But there's fog in the sky, and I'm too cold to fly. But if you can just hear my voice, hold on tight to the end of your rope. It's alright
I love this song.
have shine and hope. The waves are too big for you to mount on your own. Just let the one who knows take control and hold on to the end. And the walls are too big to scale, and the sky is getting pale. But no one's going to hurt you. No one's going to hurt you. You feel so all alone, but you are never alone. Hold on tight to the end of your rope. It's alright to have shine and hope. The waves are too big for you to mount on your own. Just let the one who knows take control and hold on to the end of your rope.
There you go. That was Hold On. And thank you very much for joining me today.
HP Plus is the smart all-in-one printing
And,
solution.
If you want to know more about Jenna, about her music, please go on our website. And also, guys, we're hopefully getting her back. So, in the meantime, Jenna, you're a star. We loved having you on.
I loved being here. Thank you so much for letting me come talk.
And she be dancing in the house going,
Yes.
I'll tell you what, hold on, guys. Hold on. And it's really good for that because, we need something to hold on, don't we? And the only person that we can hold on is our faith and God himself. So thank you to Jenna and everybody who was joining us. And thank you to that's the highest I ever had. Praise God. And thank you so much for joining us today. Don't forget, I'm going to be back around about 8 o'clock tonight with the lovely Susan Lee. We're talking about mental health tonight. Don't forget, this is all about mental health, what we do, guys. We help people out who suffer with mental health or people who are stuck in their homes, and that's what we do. So, thank you to Jenna. Thank you to everybody for joining us today. God bless. Take care of yourselves. Until then, goodbye. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bless you. Bye.